What's up everyone, this is Sapphire here, bringing you what I'm hoping will be another exciting replay. We've got Deth playing as the red Terran, and his opponent is Seal playing as the blue Zerg. Now, this is a little bit of an older replay that I've been meaning to get to, and you will have noticed from our other coverage that Deth has actually race switched. So now Deth plays as Zerg. He is still learning Zerg, and well, his Zerg is very, very strong, but he used to be playing Terran all the time, and he's now switched to Zerg. So this is an older one, and interested to find out what his Terran was like, because he was very, very strong, and I've been told this is a good replay, so looking forward to an interesting game here. And not to downplay Seal at all, he's been playing heaps and heaps since release, and he did pretty well in beta. Did a reasonably strong showing in the Trans-Tasman and a few other tournaments throughout the beta. And right now, last time I checked, Seal had almost 500 1 vs 1 games played right now, and he's right at the top of Diamond, so he's super, super active. And of course, he's up against Deth, so really interested to see what we're going to see in this one. Now, it's on Steppes of War, and Zerg vs Terran on Steppes of War is always a classic matchup. It's in the middle, it's this wide open map, so it's really, really fun for Zerg. You can get nice rounds with good numbers, but when you come into the base, Terran, it just has, of course, the classic choke that they're able to wall off on and then take the natural and then naturally expand to the next choke where they can throw down some bunkers and just sort of push out naturally and still be nice and defensive. Even though you can sneak into the base with these destructible rocks, there is a nice flow that Terran can do defensively, but looking like Deth is not playing defensively right now, not choosing to wall off with his initial barracks, just taking this little bit of a gap. We have seen a lot of players lately go for the SimCity style build where you see really tight walls in and Marines placed behind it, but no, this is a little bit open, a little bit more aggressive, and obviously Deth is feeling that he doesn't need to wall off and he's comfortable with that build. But we are seeing a fast expand go down from Seal. This is really interesting. So he's expanding, looking like 15 there, which is pretty damn fast, especially on steps, because this rush distance is not that far. You do not have to run that far, and it's just a straight line down to your natural, and it's very, very tough to defend this for a Zerg player, because Terran love to push out with tanks and put them down on this side of the cliff, and then put their Marine Marauder support or even Hellion support up the top. And then as Zerg, even if you've got spine crawlers, you try to engage here with reinforcements coming from the ramp, but you're entrenched, and to get to that siege tank position you have to go all the way around the other side, and if you really try to defend your natural, it can be really, really tough. But we are seeing a bunker being pushed down from Deth. Nice play by Seal though. He does have the Overlord there, so he does see the bunker straight away. A little bit slow though for Deth. The bunker is not there while it was morphing. The hatchery has finished, so Seal is pumping out the Zerglings now. He's hitting the Zergling panic button, try and get this thing, but looking like the bunker's going to be finished. He may even lose an Overlord as well with his two Marines working on this. Zerglings coming in to try and work on this bunker. These Marines need to get to their bunker house. Oh, this is going to be touch and go. Looking like the Marines go down. Oh, that's unfortunate. Deth really wanted this Overlord, which he did not get. And now, really nice play there by Seal, able to catch some Marines off guard. Even though there's the salvage going off on the bunker, the Marines did not get to the bunker, and that would have caused huge, huge problems if Deth had found it. And now it looks like Deth is throwing that bunker down, walling off, going a little bit more defensive. He does know there's a lot of Zerglings that Seal probably was not planning to make it, but he's hit that panic button after Deth was putting that early pressure on. But the Hellion is out, so this is a bit of a problem for Seal. Nice surround there by Seal. Hellion basically negated, but another Hellion on the way, so you see Seal is being very, very careful here and backing off. Does not want to engage too many Hellions and get basically roasted. Seal with that sneaky gas seal with this Marine still working on this extractor here, trying to get that down, just slowing Deth's build down that little bit. He's going the 1-1-1. He has the starport out, getting Vikings, which is going to be an interesting harassment. He's going very heavy on the harassment here, getting a bunch of Hellions as well as Vikings. Usually you see players go one or the other, try and harass the drone line by getting in there with Hellions, or harass the Overlords with Vikings. So depending on how successful, just looking at this rally point, it's still in the base, so you've got to be careful that Seal doesn't lose this Overlord and his other Overlord that Deth knows about and almost finished off. And this Viking is coming out now, so Deth gets to go on a bit of an Overlord hunt, and this is the first victim. This Overlord, I'm sorry buddy, but you are not going to get out of there. So looking like he's going to snipe it there, and took a long while for Deth to get that extracted down. A little bit of smack talk going down between the players, a little bit of good-natured ribbing is always good, but this dual harassment coming out from Deth is very aggressive. Seeing two Hellions as well as this Viking looking for overlords. This is going to be super annoying for Seal, who's right up against his population cap. A couple of Zerglings being roasted there, and very cautious play there by Seal, who threw down a few spine crawlers. And I like the play where he moves the Zerglings to the ramp, does not want to get caught out by these Hellions, and basically Deth wants to get to the mineral line. Hellions are the happiest when they get to snack on drones, and right now, gotta be careful, there's not a surround going off. Looks like Seal going for that surround again. Deth desperately microing, lose one Hellion, second Hellion going down. Really nice Zergling control there by Seal, and unfortunately for Deth, he really hasn't got the value out of those Hellions, still continuing to produce them. No blue flame upgrade just yet, the pre-igniter is not on the way, so just looking to throw his expansion down. He is behind macro-wise, but this expansion has been harassed. He had to put those spine crawlers down, so it's not quite mining like Seal would want it, because he did have to reduce all those Zerglings to stop that harassment. We are seeing a bunch of drones coming out now, and just looking at the income, with that mule advantage and with more harvesters, 30 over 25, Deth is still quite ahead right now with 920 over 500. So despite this expansion coming online earlier, he hasn't got the economic advantage just yet, and this bunker is going to deny any kind of horseplay that Seal is looking to do there. Deth just throwing down a little bit of an army now, finally getting some Marines and Marauders out, but he's still producing these Hellions, no longer pumping those Vikings, still hunting around while he does have this Hellion drop ready to go around, so this has got to be really careful for Seal. This Hellion drop can do a lot of damage while this Viking has only got one kill, so you would hope he would get more value for that from Deth, so he's just looking for that Overlord that he knows that he chased away before. But really, really problematic here for Seal. He has to stop this really, really dangerous 3 Hellion Marauder drop, and the Marauder will be able to work on buildings as well, so he has to be super, super careful here. It's just going to be how quickly he can react with his Zerglings. Coming in, getting one drone, trying to work on the others. A bunch of drones, 3 more drones going down, 4 drones, looking like a bunch of kills for these Hellions. Good surround there by Seal. His Zergling control is pretty good, and this Queen is going to survive. Medivac coming in to evacuate. He's got to be careful, but the Queen won't do that too much damage. So quite a few worker losses there for Seal. So got to be very, very careful there that this Hellion harassment does not put him behind, and no real losses there for Deth. That was much better investment while Seal works on his rocks, looking to take his third base. Doesn't want to be too aggressive, but Deth, being the very, very aggressive player that he is, already pushing out, and here we see those bunkers coming up. Oftentimes you'll see them a little bit more forward position, but this is, I like this placement, it's a little bit more cautious. Would not be surprised to see a second one, just to protect this side, which can be worked down, and then he can defend this nice area with those bunkers, and it's a perfectly good investment from Deth's point of view, because he can always salvage them later if he's desperate for minerals. And we are seeing speed on these Overlords, so just looking Sealed, not worried by that Viking harassment.